Yo, what's up guys? Good morning. Hope everyone is doing well. It is a beautiful Friday, March 13th. Hope everyone had a good Thursday. I looked at the market. The market kind of bounced back and forth a little bit, but actually ended down, unfortunately, yesterday, which was kind of sad news to me. I want the market to do well. I want the market to go up. I'm back at mi casa in Texas today, trying not to catch the coronavirus over here, and so I'll probably just stay home and hang out for the next indefinite amount of time. I don't know how long that's gonna be. I got a Christmas cup, even though it's not Christmas, you know. My man Santa Claus on the cup, you know. Alright, but I am home, and it feels good to be home, man. I got my monitors, I got my computer, I have my gigabit internet connection, you know. And I am definitely happy about it. What's up, Myers? What's up, Two-Way, the champ? What's up, champ? Two-Way? How you doing, bro? What's up, JB? Good morning, brother. What's up, man? What's up, Scott? Alright, what's up, Matt? Matt Spy's in here, too, man. What's up, brother? Alright, so, yeah, so... Alright. So, we can take a look at some of these stocks that are actually moving here. Again, specifically OPK, you know, CEMI, NCLH, LJPC, RCL, STXS, CCL. Carnival Corporation is actually moving up, surprisingly enough. This is a cruise line corporation, and it is moving up. OXY, CUK, Space. Everything's mostly moving up because the market's moving up, but this gap up doesn't really mean that much. I mean, I guess it's okay, and it's a good thing that the market itself is gapping up. Here's the market right now, and I guess that's a good thing that the market is gapping up, but I mean, we still crashed the last like week or so, and so like a green pre-market, I mean, it's good, you know. I'd like to see it, but I'm still quite skeptical of this market, considering that at the open yesterday we got halted for 15 minutes. The whole market did. And so, yeah, I'm highly skeptical of this market. We'll see what happens, though. You know, we'll see what happens. I think we got to be careful, but we'll see what happens. Been a green week, been a profitable week. Made money this week. I'm almost at 2K. We'll see if we're gonna make it there or not, but you still were green yesterday, Myers. Nice, brother. Yeah, man, I'm seeing the cruise lines, JB. Yeah, I was green too, bro. Happy to be green yesterday and the day before. So most of my trip I was green, which I'm very happy for. You know. All right, guys, what's everybody watching? But yeah, a lot of stuff's up because the SPY is up, the market is up, the S&P is up. You know, the S&P's not open yet, but when it opens, it'll be up. My Thinkorswim's still lagging a little bit here, though. We got Space, looking good. Rite Aid, IBM, PENN, maybe. Should I buy the Dow stock? I don't know. Should you? I don't know. I don't know where the market's going, bro. I am not an expert here, man. I mean, I'm just kind of talking. Don't listen to me, you know. I really don't know, honestly. I would wait for the stock to even out for a few days, is what I would do. Like, if I was trading the market, I would look for you know, a few green days in a row maybe, or at least a few break-even days in a row for the market to specifically find a bottom. I think it's still going to be kind of risky in this market because, you know, everything's just going down and the coronavirus fears are out there and people are scared and all that stuff. And so with that, you know, I don't know. I don't want to say yeah and then the market just tanks on you. And I don't want to say no and then the market just bounces back. You could have been rich. And so I just don't want to tell you the wrong answer, bro. So I'm just not going to say anything. John, how was your trip? Where did you go? I went to Baton Rouge for a friend's funeral. Unfortunately, yeah, it was for a friend's funeral that I had to go to. You know, in Baton Rouge, in Zachary, Louisiana. And so, yeah, it was sad. It was my best friend in the world, sister. She passed away last week, or maybe the week before. And yeah, it was really sad. Good to see him though, but you know, understandably really sad. What's up, Leo? But yeah, we got DOCU. We got some pity stocks moving, but OPK is popping off here. We can go ahead and start looking up some catalysts, guys. I'm really excited to have my news source back because I couldn't really use it on my laptop, probably for copyright reasons, but you know, I didn't want to risk using it that much on my laptop. And so I'm really excited to have my news source back. And so OPK, we can look at OPK real quick. OPK, let me find this. All right, so OPK. Alright, so OPK is partnering with the New York State Department of Health for a drive-through testing facility. That's the deal that's going on with OPK. Again, they are partnering with the New York State Health Department for a drive-through testing facility. It doesn't really give anything else really on that. Let me see if I can find what else what's causing this. Yeah, so the New York Governor Cuomo announced that the state is going to be contracting OPKO and their bioreference labs to run a bunch of tests every day for the coronavirus. And so again, OPK is partnering with the U.S. government to test people for the coronavirus and to start a laboratory to test people for the coronavirus. And so that's the deal with OPK. It's partnering with the U.S. It's partnering with New York State Department of Health is who it's partnering with, again, to create a testing laboratory for the coronavirus specifically with OPK. So we'll see what happens. That's the news for OPK. We got NCLH, which is a cruise line. This is the Norwegian cruise line. Again, NCLH. I don't know how anybody can even think about getting on a cruise ship right now, man. Just to talk a little bit about cruise ships, guys. The risk of a cruise ship, and the reason cruise ships are so scary is because if you get stuck on one, cruise ships share ventilation. They share ventilation with the rooms next to you. And so with that said, with this coronavirus going around, I ain't trying to get on a cruise ship, you know. I'm not trying to get on a cruise ship right now. And again, a lot of times cruise ships will share ventilation. And so your air is really the cabin next door to you's air. And then their air is really the cabin next door to them, and then so forth and so on. And so that's why I'm not touching a cruise ship. We'll see what happens. But I'm scared of cruise ships right now. This one was getting halted a bunch yesterday. It's now up. Alright, sorry, I'm still trying to find the news for Norwegian. What's Carnival's, there's Carnival, CCL. What's it doing? It's up too? Alright, so this is obviously the sector in general. Alright, so Princess Cruises canceled all voyages for at least 2 months. My kid's school is canceled and everything, man. School's out. Luckily, I work from home, and I can, you know, do what I need to do in this market, but man. Yeah, I'm not saying the coronavirus spreads like that. I'm just saying I'm scared of a cruise ship right now, you know. Which is why a lot of the time you'll see all these different diseases being like in cruise ships, because they spread like that. Because they share ventilation is really the problem. Yeah, for sure. Now, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying, you know, I'm scared to be there. But yeah, I'm trying to see. I guess the cruise ships are just up because the market's up. And like I said, if we really look at the market right now, guys, this is the SPY itself. This is the SPY up nicely, you know, closed at 248.11. And so it's up really well. It's up nicely. It's just whether this is going to hold. And again, most of the other stocks are following this market up. Like AMD up, you know, MU. Cannabis stocks like CGC are up. I can even say this. I haven't even looked at cannabis stocks, but I just know they're up. Am I going crazy, or does anybody hear like a phone ringing? Am I going crazy? Maybe I am, man. Maybe I'm hearing stuff. I hear like a phone ringing. But yeah, Kron is up. DOCU, which is DocuSign, they are up as well here. I guess people don't want to go sign stuff in person, and so document signing online is becoming a thing. Pure speculation. What I am seeing though is oil is really up too with this market, and so that's good. Or maybe the oil is what's causing this move up. Let me take a look at the overall market news, because we're getting a lot of ETFs on the down gappers, but I think most of them are inverse ETFs. And so let me take a look at this, guys. I think most stuff is up with this market, but I'm going to go ahead and look at some overall market catalysts as well as some overall news releases for some of this stuff. So let me go ahead and read this here. Alright, so here's the latest news on the coronavirus, and this is from BZ Newswires, which is just biotech newswires. Kenya's Minister of Health, Mutahi Kagwe, announced that the first case of the coronavirus has been confirmed in the country. So Kenya had its first case, and this is all quoting from, again, BZ Newswires. So yeah, Kenya had its first case. He said that the government has taken preventative measures and is monitoring the patient. China's Wuhan, which is the epicenter of the coronavirus, has reported 5 new cases on Friday, with no locally transmitted infections in the rest of the country. And like, listen, if China's starting to slow down on the overall coronavirus cases, that's a great thing. That's great news. If China's slowing down on it, the problem with that is that with the... Let me delicately put this. You don't know if they're telling the truth. They might be lying, you know. We don't know what they're going to want, you know, with them being, with their government, they're going to want to make themselves look like they are the best handlers of this situation. And I'm not saying they're not, the numbers are incorrect or their numbers are not true. I'm just saying we don't really know whether they're telling the truth, because I'm sure they are going to be somewhat competing with South Korea's numbers, which are substantially better than the rest of the world. And so China's not going to want to look bad if South Korea's like, yeah, our mortality rate is like, 0.3% overall. As a total, our mortality rate is 0.3%. And then China's way up there at like 3%, so literally 10 times as bad. China's not going to be like, yeah, we suck. They're going to instead want to make themselves look better. And so they might mess with those numbers a little bit. I don't know whether they're going to be completely accurate, but I hope they are. And if they are, that's good news. That means the virus is slowing down. And I think watching what's going on in China, which is really the place that has gotten hit the most from this, is going to help us understand what's going to ultimately happen to us and everybody else. And so I think watching China is important right now to see what's really going on. And I hope what they're saying is true. I'll say that. And so that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm just saying with their government, sometimes they're more worried about what they're going to look like, because they have the whole capitalist versus communist thing, and that clashes. And so, and to be fair, our government is not much better. To be fair, our government's not really that much better, to be completely honest. No, I don't think they caused this, man. It's not their fault, man. This stuff is going to happen. It's inevitable. It's not their fault. It's inevitable. This stuff's going to happen regardless of whether it happens in China or anywhere else. This stuff's going to happen. And scientists have predicted this stuff's going to happen. Like I said, I'm just hoping they're telling the truth with these numbers, and that's what I really hope. And I want to believe they are. But you can't really know when, there's a government like that specifically. It's kind of like Russia. Like, we don't really know what's going on in Russia either, and we can't really believe Russia's numbers either. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying China's bad. I'm just saying we can't really believe them. We don't know whether they're telling the truth. They might be lying, and that's a very plausible thing too. You can't just be like, oh yeah, they always tell the truth. No, they don't. Especially when the world's superpowers are competing with each other, and everybody wants to seem like they're the best, and they might not be, and so. What's my trading game plan today? It's the same as it's been the last few days, which is just hang out and wait for some type of stability, specifically with trend, and then trade using the VWAP to take advantage of a confirmed trend in stocks that I watch. And so we'll see what the market does. If the market's shooting down, I might look at shorts. If the market's running up, I obviously might look at some long plays. But it ultimately depends on what the market gives me today and what kind of trends are confirmed via the VWAP with the with the strategies that I trade. And so, yeah, we'll look at my account. I'm getting very, very close to the $2,000 profit level, guys. I'm getting very, very close here. I am at $1,863 in profit. So I'm about $157 away. $137, man. It took me a little while to get my math right. $137 away from breaking that $200 point. We'll see if we get there. What's the most stable stock? I don't know. I have no idea, man. What's the most stable stock? I have no idea, bro. I don't know what's going to be stable and what's not. You could say gold, but then gold is not stable at all. If the market goes up, gold's going to go down, If the market goes down, gold's going to go up. I wouldn't call it stable. What's the most stable stock? I don't know. Erica says, my mom, who travels nationally every week, has symptoms, and now so do I. I might get tested later today. Hey, good luck. good luck. If you do have it, let us know how it is, because they got a lot of propaganda going on right now about if it's bad or good, or if it's mild or severe, and if everybody's lying to us. There's just a lot of nonsense out right now. And so hearing first person what it's like for a healthy person might be a good thing. Where's old? I don't know where he's at, man. He's probably upstairs playing his Nintendo right now, two-way. Are you gonna take a withdrawal? Sometimes close, man. I'll do one eventually. I'm just slowly growing my account. It took me a few months to get where I'm at now. And like I said, I'm not an expert or a guru selling a course or anything like that. Like I'm just a trader trying to grow my account slowly and carefully, and letting people watch me do it. And that's all I'm really doing. I'm slowly growing my account, happy with my account, happy that I'm at where I'm at, happy that I'm profitable, and I'm slowly trying to grow it. And so, people are going to be like, oh man, my guru can make $500 million in 3 weeks. You only made $2,000 in a few months, John? Dang. And if that's true, man, go watch him. I'm just trying to grow my account. Microsoft, Apple, Microsoft being a software company mostly is probably going to be the most stable thing. I can understand that. Like, Apple isn't really a software company. I mean, they are, but they aren't. They're more so a hardware company. And so Apple being a hardware company, it might not be as stable as, like I said, let's say Microsoft. Microsoft might be a little bit more stable, again, because it's a software company. How stable are the stocks compared to the beginning of the coronavirus? Erica says, I have a mild fever, headaches, sore throat, and tight chest right now. You go to the doctor. I mean, here's the problem though, is that going to the doctor is actually how it's spread. I'm not saying don't go to the doctor. Look, I'm not a medical professional. I'm just saying we should have test kits so we can deal with it at home. Because that way we wouldn't actually have to go. But, I don't know. I watched yesterday's replay and your head was huge. Dude, you know why my head's big? It's the same reason I tell my son. My son's got a huge head. Like a disproportionately large head, man. My son's got a huge head, right? And I've got a huge head too. Like when my son was like 4 years old, we bought my son a hat, and it was like a 6 or 7 year old hat. It was like for 5 to 6 year olds, and my son was 4. And that thing sat on the top of his head like an elephant hat. That thing sat on the top of his head, wouldn't even go around his head. And now anytime I say, hey Jack, I go, hey Jack, why do you have a big head? My son goes, because I have a big brain and I'm smart. And I go, that's right. Even though that's not scientifically accurate. Can't talk right now. Even though that's not accurate scientifically, but I'm gonna go with because I'm smart. Dude, I got a huge head, man. You can't really tell from the front, but if you look at me from the side, dude, I've got a huge head, man. Like, look at that. But yeah, oil's up. What's my hat size? I really don't know. I don't really wear hats that much. I used to wear... Here's a fun story. When I was a teenager, I hated getting a haircut. And I used to grow my hair out so much that I never had to get a haircut. And I would just wear a hat all the time. I would just throw a hat, and my hair was just unreasonably long. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but when my hair gets long, it gets really curly. Like, I actually have really curly hair, if you can't really tell. Like, my hair is like super curvy. Or curly. And so my hair gets really long and just kind of shaggy. I look like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. But I used to always wear a hat, and I would just never take my hat off. And after a certain point of like growing my hair out like that, I was actually scared of getting a haircut because I was scared they would be like, oh my gosh, look at his hair, from anxiety. And so I just let my hair grow out crazily when I was a teenager. And now I'm kind of the complete opposite. Now I don't like my hair long at all. I just prefer it short and easy. Chad. Alright, let's look at stocks. Y'all gotta be talking about my head. Alright, market up. Great job, two-way. I blame you, bro. You know? Oh, I know. I'm just messing with you guys. Alright, but yeah, so market is up. Again, the National Health Commission reported that for the second time in a row, the count is less than 10, with the previous day recording 8 cases, and they said, quote, broadly speaking, the peak of the epidemic has passed in China. And so that's great. That's great news. If the peak of the epidemic has passed in China, that's actually really good news here. That's really solid news. That means the rate of growth is not as bad as we think it is, because China has a ton of people. They are putting out some good quarantine measures, though, in China, which I hope we do here. McLaren pulled out of the race after a member of its crew tested positive for the coronavirus while in Melbourne. Disneyland is also going to be closing through April starting on Saturday, and March Madness has been canceled, man. It's a crazy world right now, man. We got basketball finals canceled, March Madness canceled. We got Disney World is closed. We have, I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The LSU Tigers aren't going to be playing. Everybody's closing down. Nobody wants to get the coronavirus. It's a scary, scary world right now, team. A scary, scary world. NHL's pausing its season. What's another triple leveraged ETF like the SPY? They got inverse ETFs like TVIX and UVXY, which are just volatility ETFs. They got a bunch of different stuff, man. What's up, Ray Ray? What's up, bro? Our death rate should be multiplying exponentially, yet it's not. Yeah, for sure. Alright, and then I can look at the ETF preview from today, and I'm going to go ahead and quote this, and this is from MT Newswires. It says, quote, stock futures have turned positive ahead of the open following the coronavirus-driven crash in the previous session, as traders now looked to signs of government intervention to address the economic impact of the disease outbreak. U.S. legislators are expecting to unveil on Friday a comprehensive legislative package to stimulate the economy amid the ongoing crisis, according to media reports. And Nancy Pelosi reportedly told members of the media that negotiators are, quote, close to an agreement on a coronavirus relief measure. It also says, quote, governments and policymakers around the globe have also prepared more monetary policies and fiscal stimulus to address the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic amid panic and rising fears. Japan's central bank vowed to purchase 200 billion yen, which is 1.9 billion US, of government bonds and provide 1.5 trillion yen of loans, while Australia's central bank injected a hefty amount of cash into the system as well. Efforts to contain and prevent the spread of the virus were implemented as well, with France closing schools, universities, and other public places where large crowds gather. Italy imposed more stringent measures amid its lockdown, with closures of restaurants, bars, and shops. And here in the U.S., import and export prices for February fell 0.5 and 1.1% respectively versus expectations for a decline of 0.6 and 0.5% compared with 0 and plus 0.7 change in the previous month. All right, so that's the news, and that's all quoting again from MT Newswires. We can look at what I'm really interested in here as well, which is commodities. And we have crude that's up nearly 6%. So crude oil is up nearly 6%. The U.S. oil fund is up 0.7, or not point. The U.S. oil fund is up 7%. Natural gas is up more than 4%, and the U.S. Natural Gas Fund is up 0.4%. Again, when the market goes up, gold usually goes down, and so gold is down 1%. The Spider Gold Trust is up more than 1%. Silver's down 2%. The iShares Silver Trust is down 0.6%. We also had the Treasury Secretary, Steve Mnuchin, which currently is being interviewed on CNBC. He says, quote, we will be coming back to work on issues with the airline industry. Yeah, addedly, man, they canceled the Houston Rodeo, bro. The crazy thing is, this is the crazy thing, right? You cancel the rodeo here. You cancel basketball, nobody cares. You cancel baseball, nobody cares here. You cancel all this stuff, nobody cares. You cancel the Houston Rodeo, everybody loses their minds here in Texas, man. Everybody's crying, saying, I can't believe you. We should have freedom. It's like, dude, the coronavirus is going around, man. Like, who cares about the rodeo, dude? Like, get out of here, man. Like, you're mad about the rodeo cancellation? Dude, I'm gonna be hanging out at my house for like at least a month, you know? I told my daughter that yesterday. My kid's school was canceled, you know? We're just gonna be hanging out. But yeah, crazy. How's my volume relative to everything, guys? How's the volume of my voice relative to the stream? It should be that bad, right? Relative to the sound. Lakeland Industries, yeah, coronavirus stock, right? Alright, so Lake is up. Coronavirus stock, like I said, OPK is partnering with the New York Department of Health to create a coronavirus testing lab in New York for OPK, and that's the reason this one is up. Again, it is partnering with the New York government, the U.S. government, the Department of Health, I believe, in New York, to create a testing lab there. And that's the news for OPK. EPR up. LJPC is up. Good. Alright, nice, man. I appreciate it, guys. I'm not saying nobody cares. I'm just saying that people in Texas are funny. People in Texas are funny, you know. Yeah, I'm just saying people in Texas are funny. You can take away everything, cancel schools, cancel sports, they're chill, you know. You cancel the rodeo, it's the end of the world, man. They're sitting there like, what about those kids who raise those, you know, those animals, those beauty animals all year round? What did we tell them? We tell them that there's a virus going around. They canceled monster truck shows. Oh no. I am not in Louisiana anymore, bro. I am up here in Houston. You know, I'm not in Louisiana. I left yesterday. I came home. I'm back at home. Alright, team. Alright, guys. Like I said, you got anything specific you want me to look at, let me know. But overall, I'm just basically going over market news right now. They said the Treasury Secretary, or the Treasury Secretary is considering using, quote, using its authorities to address the coronavirus impact. He said the House bill will allow uninsured people to get tests. He also called the coronavirus a, quote, short-term issue, and he sees it as a few months. The U.S. Central Command head also said they're going to be able to maintain presence in Iraq. What's up, Justin? Yeah, for sure. Right, 4 Rodeo fans dislike the stream. Right, you know. No, it's actually pretty funny, man. We got people that hate me so much. Like, these people hate me so much that some people actually, like, they hang out here. They wait for me to start my stream every single morning, and they just immediately dislike it. Like, I'll give them credit. That's devotion, man. You're super devoted to hating on somebody, man. And like I said, it's just insecurity, man. I feel kind of bad for them. Like, you know, something I did, something I said, something I'm doing makes them feel bad about themselves, and so they are just super devoted to criticizing me, and it's hilarious. But yeah, like I said, every morning when I wake up, you get like 2 dislikes from somebody that obviously is just super dedicated. So shout out to them. I mean, I feel for him, JB. I really do, man. I feel for him. But at the same time, you gotta understand, like, schools are closing. You know what I mean? Schools are closing. Like, there's a lot more important issues at hand than the rodeo right now. And people need to understand that. And I know you worked hard. I more so feel for the vendors, because the vendors are gonna lose money, and a lot of them might be put out of business from preparing all year for sales and then not getting sales. And so it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, and there are more pressing issues at hand. And I get it, as a business owner, I understand, but, you know, it's a tough thing. Alright guys, looks like we got Mitch. Let me get Mitch in here. Alright guys, there we go. Let me know what the volume is. I just got Mitch in here. Let me know what the sound volume is with everything. Let me know how that's going. Yo, what's up, Mitch? You there?
Yo.
There he is. What's up, brother?
What's up?
Let's get a sound check, guys. How is Mitch's volume with the music and with my voice and everything like that? Let's see how that's going. Yeah, it most likely is manic. A lot of times I'll see him like disappear after like a day. So it's just one guy super committed to hating, you know. It's probably somebody that knows me personally. I have a few theories on it, but, you know, it is what it is.
But he comes by every day.
He does, man. He does, dude. He's committed, man. Like I said, he is super upset at me for whatever I'm doing. Like I said, when you do something cool, people are going to hate. And, you know, in the end, it's just insecurity on their part. You know what I mean?
Man, things are going crazy, bro.
Yeah, bro. Hey, the market's up, dude. The carnival stocks or the cruise line stocks are up, dude.
Well, I mean, that's just
market.
I mean, we gotta remember, yeah. Look at the range. Don't think it's something's up just because it's up. It's just a range, guys. This has built. The SPY has been doing ranges of easily $10, and so if the stock's up about 10 here, you can easily get to 250 today and right back down towards the low of that 240s. But Yeah, guys, this is definitely getting kind of a lot, I think. So on Monday, we were in uncertainty. I think yesterday really triggered the panic. Panic has set in, at least in the consumers in the United States. The grocery store is going absolutely bare dry on most products. You're going to start seeing products like chicken, paper towels, uh, even the pasta aisle was completely wiped out.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah, people are going crazy. I can tell you that I've been in a lot of like really big hurricanes where people have gone to that level, and this is worse.
Yeah, man.
This is worse in the stores. I can tell you that. You can see it on people's faces. Even in the stores, people are looking at each other differently. Yeah, it's definitely a different market environment, different environment as a whole for a personal level. I think what everyone needs to just kind of figure out is, the risk and reward side. Just try to be smart with it, and like I said in the chat, hey, the best thing right now is to stay home and trade.
Right, for sure. And like I said yesterday, people are hating on people that are stocking up on toilet paper, but the reason people are stocking up is so they can stay home and not do anything for the next 2 months. If they stay home, they're not going to catch the coronavirus. And so if they have enough toilet paper and food and stuff like that, then they can effectively just never leave their house. And that's why people are stacking up on toilet paper. And I kind of understand it. I'm not saying, honestly, I'm almost out of toilet paper, to be quite honest. So I'm not those ones stacking up on toilet paper. I haven't even been home. But I understand the ones that have.
Well, I understand everything. I still don't understand the toilet paper.
Well, dude, because people are going to be staying home indefinitely. They're going to be staying home for months. And they don't want to run out of toilet paper, bro.
I don't know about you, bro, but I don't use 20 rolls in a month.
Well, they don't know how long they're going to stay home for. If this thing starts like getting really bad, they're going to stay home as long as they need to.
It just gotta make me laugh. I mean, bro, if you got 80 rolls at home, bro, like, are you serious?
Let
like,
it go,
how much?
Yeah, I feel
share the love, man. Right. Share the love.
Right, other people need that toilet paper, man. Like seriously.
Go to your next door neighbor. Yeah, go to your next door neighbor and share the love. Right. Just give them a roll.
My wife and I are almost out, and we got 2 kids, and like we can't find toilet paper anywhere, man. Like we really can't. Like we can't go anywhere. Like there's like rumors of like the stores around here that have toilet paper, and people are like waking up like it's the new iPhone 12. They're like waking up at dawn.
Go to the hotel.
Right. Go now. Right. Back alley deals on toilet paper, man. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, man, it's crazy. It's definitely crazy. I'm not gonna lie, I bought food. Tried to set myself up for like 2 weeks. I think that's like a reasonable amount. I don't think you have to go in extreme. Just be safe, guys. Just try to do your best to remain with the family time. This is family time, guys.
100%.
Think about it like that. Think about the positives. And another thing I've been bringing up, I know this is a rough time for baby boomers, but for you millennials out there, and I know there's a lot of millennials that watch our show, hey guys, this is our opportunity. And we can't be looking at it as a negative. We got to look at it as a positive. This is going to give us opportunities to get in investments that we could have got in 5 years ago. And so if you think about it that way, this is an opportunity, not necessarily a time to be scared. It's a time to put on the big boy pants, be safe outside, but focus on your investments and try to really align yourself for the next 10 to 11 years. And you can see a massive gain in 10 or 12 years. I was talking to traders today. Some traders that got stocks we're talking ridiculous pricing. I know a trader, they got Walmart in the financial crisis, and this was back in 08. They got it at $44. Those are the types of moves you need to look for. Companies that are really great, that you believe in their kind of their system and how they go about their way of business. You think that they're never going to go away. one that I feel strongly about is Disney. I've been mentioning it multiple times. Underneath 100, it looks good. It's getting towards that level. I've already spoken about it with my girlfriend. We've already started to get money in account. I'm actually gonna even maybe try a Weibo account. I'm deciding today on where I'm gonna be putting my money, but I'm definitely gonna be putting in some money today into my account and getting ready to set up my long-term trades. At the end of the day, this is opportunity, guys. When there's blood in the streets, it's not time to panic. It's time to put on the big boy pants, and that's why you have cash, and you have to be smart. Set up your positions, like I was talking about yesterday, where you're buying in stages. So meaning that you're looking for for Disney, the stages would be, for me, was 100, 75, and 50. Those would be the 3 stages I would want to buy at. Right now we're cracking that 100. I'm thinking maybe we can get closer towards that $80, and I'll take it there, and then try to start taking some below those other 2 stages, which would be 75 and 50. That would give me the best possibility on the chart to come back and the biggest risk to reward. So I want a small risk. I want to have a downside risk of maybe $10, $20, but a potential upside risk of 70, 90, 100 points. Those are the kind of trades that I want to take here.
Right, for sure. Yeah, I like it. I kind of agree with who said that. Who said it? Cool. I guess said it. I never invest long term, but by seeing all these cheap stocks, I might buy and hold for the first time in a long time. And I kind of agree, man. Now's the time, I think. I don't know when it actually. I would wait for a few break-even days in a row to find a bottom first. But I think there's a lot of cheap stocks right now. A lot of cheap stocks. And I think if you look at China's numbers, if China is telling the truth, that should be a good sign. But again, it's hard to see whether they're telling the truth because they might be competing with South Korea. And so with that, they might, put out some better numbers than they really have because, again, they don't want themselves to look bad.
Yeah, one of the things that I would recommend is the look that I'm looking at is looking at things in percentage wise. So when we had the financial collapse, we would still have on the SPY about 10% from 250. So we're looking at closer towards 211s if we match the financial collapse of 2008. So those are the kind of numbers that I'm looking for on the SPY. That would be the ultimate bottom in my eyes. That's where, for sure, I would be a panic buyer. That's what I call it. It's buying into panic. That's a panic buyer. That's a buyer that doesn't get afraid of panic, but instead looks at long-term supports and uses those as their advantage to get in with the right risk to reward. Every time you take a trade, it's never 100% gonna tell you that, hey, this is gonna go good for you. The only thing you can always do is set ourselves up in a probability mindset and try to get in the best risk management situation. This is really what we stress, and what we can stress on as day traders is whenever we take a trade, whether it be long-term or short-term, you always need to take a look at 2 things. You need to be taking a look at your support and your resistance, and you also need to be taking a look at your potential ranges on how far up and down the stock can go. Because if you don't understand that, you won't be able to capitalize on your risk management, which is vital to every trader, whether that's long-term or day trader, swing trader, whatever trader. So I think we can all just take lessons in this. Understand that people got greedy. There's some people that definitely lost a massive amount of wealth in this drop. One of the things you can take from that is always set reward targets. There was people that had no reward targets in the market, and that's also a negative thing to have. Whenever you take a trade, you always need to have a reward target, because if not, then the greed will get to you and the market will correct.
Certainly.
You know, you got to be smart, guys. Like every time we take a day trade, you guys will see sometimes we cut trades early, and yeah, you'll get a little FOMO when you miss the big move, but don't take that in the wrong kind of mentality. Take that in that I took the execution of the trade and plan that I wanted, and that's 10 times better than getting what we call kind of the what do they call that when you get a return that's irrational, unnormal, a lucky win. We could call it a lucky win. Those happen. But what's better is if you can execute on a strategy day in and day out, because that will get you through the ups and the downs.
Some positive variance.
Yeah.
I lost 12. What's up, Junior? What's up, bro? Hope you're doing well, man. Over there in Australia, brother. Hope you're doing well, man.
You want to know what want some speculation, bro?
Go ahead,
some
man.
Talk. All right. Well, this one's a fun one. We got 2 minutes for the bell, so I'm gonna say it real quick. So Michael Berry, you know, the guy from The Big Short.
Yeah.
He's loving it right now, man. He's been calling another bubble for quite amount of time, and he said that it was going to be the asset bubble in ETFs. And I kind of like his story that he's backing here. The story he backs here is the same story that happened with synthetic CDOs and mortgages, that they pretty much just started selling them like they were water. They were just handing them out like, here, $1 here, $1 here, $1 here, $1 here. Everyone have a house. And what ended up happening is you create a bubble. You create a bubble because you give so much value out and not the value coming back in. Meaning people are not actually paying for those things. And so what ended up happening, what he says here, is the asset bubble created in the ETFs, like the SPY, that were just promoted by asset managers and by hedge fund managers, and also by your regular retail broker, that were just like, here, take the SPY, you win every time. Right. You haven't lost in 20 years. Why are you going to look bad? No, just take the SPY, take the SPY. And what does that create? That creates a liquidity bubble.
A bubble. Yeah, for sure.
And he could be right. I mean, it's completely speculation. But I mean, to me, this coronavirus scare and the way that it's reacting in the market, I think the market just used it as an excuse to get down to these levels. Personally, and that's just my opinion. I could be 100% wrong, and it could have been just coronavirus, but I think there's something else in play here. I think there's something deeper that we don't understand, and that at us as retail, we have to be worried and have to be safe with our investments here.
All right, so there's the open. Let's see what else we got. Let me see. So S&P is up. Obviously, we kind of knew it was going to go up because the SPY is up, even though the S&P doesn't necessarily have pre-market. We'll see what the market gives us today. If we get another break-even day today, hopefully we found a bottom. But we'll see. We just kind of got to wait and watch. But yeah, S&P is up. The SPY itself is actually down, though. And so watching these close.
All right. Today, just because pre-market we were really bullish, I'm going to have kind of a little bit of an opposite approach. I've been thinking that the Ago's been pushing things up at the open. I think we might see a quick flush today. So I'm going to be paying attention to certain stocks, see if I get a quick flush.
We're back up in the market. SPY's up. Let's see what we get today.
One I like is APT, just because it got hit so hard.
Cannabis is down a little bit. You can look at the SPY here. SPY's up. SPY's up to 263.80s here for the SPY. Yeah, it's better to be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful, Dominic. Yes, sir. Tiny says no documentation. Loans killed the housing market. Yeah, it was a mix of a few different things. It was more so, and it kind of goes into what you said, which is it was more so mortgage companies giving out way more loans than they really should have, and then it was the process and what they would get from that, which is greed coming into play and big banks buying the loan regardless, and to where it put the mortgage companies into a conflict of interest where they didn't even have to hold the loan for very long, and so it didn't matter how risky the mortgage was, and so there's a lot of little nuances to the crash back then. But, you know, definitely greed played a huge factor.
Looking at CGC and AMRN just dropped 50 cents. It went green to red and dropped big time. CGC kind of the same look, a nice little 20-cent drop after a little pop. We'll watch those two. Looking right now for LK to get to 34, can risk off at 34.20. For a VWAP bounce play.
Yeah, market just broke lows down to 262s, hitting the VWAP now.
Yeah, I'm looking for the opposite of what we've been getting, the same pattern for 4 days, which was the agos pushing up first and then the washout. I'm looking for washout first and then the agos coming in the afternoon to push us up.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope we end green, bro. You know,
I could definitely see it, John. I mean, at the end of the day, bounce back doesn't mean that we'll be green forever. It just means that the consolidation.
Right, 100%. Look at RCL, man. Look at cruise. It's down. If it pulls back, I might take it. I still think cruise ships. I don't think anybody's going to want to go on a cruise for a long time. But
I could agree with that one.
Yeah, look at RCL. It's falling down, man.
Was looking for LK, but it never came back to VWAP. It came right below it at 33.90s and went right back down to 33.40s. So it was a good look, but just didn't come to VWAP.
Right, but that boils down to people are always going to try to get houses even if they don't have the money for it, right? Like that's kind of part of it. Like, listen, I was a real estate agent, and I had so many clients that would act like they could afford a house or act like they had a mortgage company that would give them a loan and then didn't really, and so I just showed them a bunch of houses for no reason, and that's very common. That's human nature. Everybody does that if they can. But with 2008, the mortgage company specifically had a big conflict of interest because the way it works is like the mortgage company might give out the mortgage and then they immediately sell it, or they immediately give it to a big bank, right? A big bank immediately buys that up, and puts it in a fund back then. And that process caused a conflict of interest with the mortgage companies to where it didn't really matter how risky the loan was, you know what I mean? And so they were just giving out loans, mortgages specifically.
I missed the green to red on EMPH. That one would have looked nice. Seen a lot of VWAP rejects. Green to red moves. Kind of what I was expecting, so. All right, guys, I just saw, what is this, 66,000 shares get put in at 1068 for APT. So it's 65,000 shares on the bid side on 68s. Just calling out that big order. Whenever you see those big orders, you got to pay attention to them, guys.
Halted CCO? Yeah, CCO was halted.
Huge number on the ass side at 1081. There's 412,000 shares sitting there for
like
APT.
Looks like the cruise ships are halted. So CCL, RCL, both halted on the way down.
That's not good.
Yeah.
I've heard that Royal Caribbean is in major debt issues right now.
I believe it, man. I mean, like I said, with that, it not only was that coronavirus thing bad, but it was just terrible publicity, man. Just terrible publicity. And so I believe it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, the thought that they just kept letting ships leave their port.
Right.
I don't think that's gonna go well in a couple months.
Hey, I appreciate the sub, Weatherman. What's up, brother? Thank you for the sub, man. Hit that subscribe button, team, if you haven't already. Smash that like button. Overpower the haters. Hit that like button and subscribe button if you haven't.
Looking at MU right now, APT just shot off like a rocket. That 60,000 buy pushed it up there. Looking for a VWAP bounce play in that one. It would need to come down towards 1085s, and the risk would be at 1070.
All right, just to go over a few news that came out recently. U.S. Treasury Secretary Mnuchin said he has been in contact with both Saudi Arabia and Russia in regards to oil prices, and says the U.S. airline industry is in very good shape. They are facing short-term liquidity issues that has to be dealt with.
Boom, boom. Another thing that's concerning right now is margin calls, guys. People are going to start receiving margin calls, at least to keep going down in the SPY. That could cause an even worse pain for the market, because what ends up happening is with the margin calls, they sell your position,
Right.
thus making the market go down.
You got to put up all that leverage immediately. No fun. You know.
APT, man, this thing's going up. I'm trying to get it on a bounce, on a pullback here, on a VWAP bounce play, but let's see if it pulls back here.
Yeah, I'm looking at ZM. I'm looking at AMRN too.
I liked MU, but it didn't get to my VWAP. It was slightly under my VWAP, so I'll let it go. AMD flipping there. You could maybe look for a VWAP reject now.
ENPH getting hammered too.
Lots of ads on that APT. Was looking for a pullback here. We already extended towards 1150. So we're talking about a 65-cent pullback on this pullback that we're looking for. I'm going to cancel my orders out that I had there. I had orders out just in case it pulled back immediately. Not looking good. I think this is kind of what I talked about, guys. Instead of the agos pushing everything up like we've had it, what do we get? We got to push down from the agos. So watch for those big bounces later on in the afternoon. For right now, I'm looking for fades until the first pattern kind of dies out. Looking for some stocks, just not getting the ones that I need. Let's see our WT. Disney heading down fast. Apple doing the same, leading the market down there.
Yep.
I had that feeling. Just I gotta get better. I gotta understand that sometimes we're gonna get these green to red days now because of the market, and I don't really have a strategy for the green to red really. The only thing is the VWAP reject trade. And at least we might need to do some research on this weekend, but it's not our most profitable play, so John and I try to stay away from it sometimes.
Look at RCL is resumed with CCL. They're both down substantially here.
Yeah, I would look for the VWAP fade on that.
If it ever comes back, man, market's tanking. You know?
Oh yeah, that's what I would just pay attention to. I would never chase it here. I would only look for a bounce back.
Right. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm really looking for right now. Like I don't mind trading right now in this volatility, but I'm not gonna trade down here. Just a little extended. I think eventually I'll trade a dip or a pullback, but I'm not gonna trade here, man. And so that just means I might not trade. I'll wait, but maybe we'll get some a little bit later. Maybe AMRN.
Yeah.
Check out AMRN. That one's kind of doing it.
Yeah, you know, one thing I've been noticing is you either have to nail the early trades. 10 o'clock has been the hardest hour in the last week. I can tell you that right now, guys. After 10, things are in between and being hard. After 11, I've seen kind of more the trend get reestablished and head in a direction. At least that's what I've been seeing on patterns wise. Looking for AMRN here to come back.
Sorry, I had to fix the green screen. What's up, Raul? What's up, brother? Nice, man.
Oof.
What's Roku doing?
You know which one did a big VWAP reject? Big one?
Which one?
AMAT. $1 on that VWAP reject.
I'm gonna have to start watching AMAT. Look at I kind of want a DOCU here. DOCU pulled back beautifully to the VWAP, and I was really thinking about it, but it has such a huge range. This thing has got, like, on the day, it's got like a $7 range. Just since the bell, which was, you know, we're 13 minutes into the open. This thing's got a $7 range, man. And part of that is just due to the market volatility. A lot of stuff is big range. But we'll see. We're getting a little bit of a pullback here, a small pullback. But again, everything's so extended that I gotta be careful if I do trade.
All right, guys, looking for APT to pull back here for a VWAP bounce. Want a quick dip below VWAP. I'll buy that up and try to take it back up there.
There's a quick bounce back. This might be our shot if the SPY pulls back a little bit.
All right, here's a dip for APT. Might get in here, guys.
I just realized that half of my screen was up, half of Mitch's. Sorry, guys. There's the full screen. Alright, well, here's a pullback.
Looking for a little bit more here in APT. I could go after this, but the risk would be 30 cents. I don't want to risk 30 cents on this trade.
I'm in AMD with like 20 shares, so just a little bitty position. Planning to scale into it if we get a little bit more, just on the rejection style play to the view up. Man, I should have gotten bigger sizing here, but I'm up a little bit. Just gonna let it go. Here's the move I wanted. Oof. Good. I'm gonna get out there for a little $9 gain. I wanted more, I just didn't get it. That was the chance for the pullback. I'm also looking at DOCU here. It's pulling back a little bit, but the range is just so big. But we got a lot of fades there really quickly. Caught a little bit of it, but we'll see what else we get. Looking at DOCU, but again, it's got a monstrous range.
Trying my best to be patient here in AVT. Something's telling me not to like kind of rush into this. I'm trying to be patient here. It is near the VWAP, but I'm trying to get it slightly below VWAP just to improve my risk and reward. All right, starting to see some bottoms hold here on MU. We'll see if it starts ramping back here. Watching MU.
All right, so market is actually bouncing a little bit at 258.30s, and so we're gonna bounce up. That previous move up was right around 260, 260.20s or so. So the market's bouncing a little bit here. We'll see what we get. I'm kind of looking at the cannabis stocks at this point. I like the little risk level we have for some of them, so I'm watching that. We also have a bounce that I might be able to add into one AMD and get a little bit more position, but it looks like we're going to reject here. But I'll watch it and see. I'm trying to look at the level 2.
SAPT has me a little bit hesitant here at the VWAP. I'm going to wait and just stick to the original plan I set. I would much rather look back at my trade and be happy that I stuck to my original plan. But there's a bounce, so maybe might have missed it, but not gonna really worry about it. Just gotta focus on sticking to that, because the risk and reward didn't make sense if it dropped there to 75s. So it got picked up there at 11, but that's how it is sometimes.
I'm in AMD with 60 shares, a little bit bigger position this time. I'm just gonna try to get a little gain from it if I can, and if not, you know, it'll be a little trade. If you guys want to see my trade, I'll put it up while I'm waiting.
Yeah, APT with a nice bounce there, but I'm not trading that one anymore, guys. Gotta let her go.
Yeah, I'm just trading small right now. It's not really my ideal time. I'm just trying to take advantage of a few fades with pretty small sizing here. So I'm in with like 60 shares. You know, I'll take some profits if I can, but I'm just gonna hang out here, see if we get a little bit bigger drop, maybe down to like.
There you go. MU cracked. Nice. Should see a nice move here in AMD. Would expect.
Yeah, a little drop. I'm not up much. I mean, I got 60 shares, you know, so it's just tiny. Alright, I'm gonna get out, just take a little profits there. Like I said, I'm just trying to build up a little bit of cushion. Up about 20 bucks. Holding 30 shares still. Gonna see if we get a bigger drop here, which we do.
Got to be patient today.
Get out here. Just take my little win. So about $20 gain. I'll take it. I'm just trading small right now. It's not really my ideal time to trade. And so I'm just trying to scalp a few quick moves with small size, build up a little bit of cushion so I can take a larger swing later. Is all I'm really trying to do. As you can see, I'm just kind of scalping moves like this. So just taking little trades, slowly trying to build it up. Market breaks lows here, it might actually run down some, so we'll see. Whoever you are, you're spamming the chat, man. You need to chill out, hero. Alright, so I got a few little gains. Like I said, up a very small $20. We're going to see what we can find there today.
Not finding much for me.
Market broke lows here. So a few of these bounce backs to the VWAP might reject. Maybe I should have held some there on AMD, but it was such a small position. I just wanted to get out when I had a little bit of money, and I think that's alright. Now it's going to be the same thing. We're going to have to wait for the market to bounce back again if we're going to get a better entry. We'll see. Just going to be patient. Yeah, there's the market breaking lows still.
This one's interesting to watch just because it's been strong for relatively a couple days. JD would have made a big down move already. Some VWAP rejects.
Yeah, so here's an interesting take on what's actually going on in the world. If the numbers that China is giving us is accurate with regard to the coronavirus, you know, which is showing that the rate at which it is spreading is drastically reducing and that it might be the climax for the coronavirus right now. With that said, I think, you know, I think if that is what we get, I think Chinese stocks are going to start running back up because that is signifying the end of the pandemic for them, at least. And so I think that's an interesting strategy and plan to see if the coronavirus slows down in China, what that ultimately does to affect their economy in a positive way, and if their markets start to go back up. So, you know, I think that's something that we should look at and watch. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, Hero just changed his profile, but that's him. I can tell because he's spamming the chat and demanding people to talk to him. What's up, Raul? They need to wait for economic news. Yeah, we'll see. I'm just gonna wait for it bounces back. I'm looking at DOCU, honestly. DOCU. Bouncing back a little bit now. It's just got a huge range. You know, I would have to risk, let's see, 75 60s from 74. So, you know, a big risk. About $1.30 right now. So I would have to take like 20 shares, you know, this one.
John, we are struggling.
Huh?
We should have put our houses on shorting GameStop.
Yeah, man. GameStop, bro.
Bro, if that stock ever gets to 7 again, I'm gonna put my kidney up.
Dude, that thing did bounce, man. Honestly, it bounced probably from company insiders, like just trying to prop it up, and it didn't work. Like GameStop is over with. There's no need for a GameStop anymore. Listen, I trade stocks every day, and I love video games, okay? I know, and a lot of times it's weird, man. You'll get people that defend GameStop because it's like, it's nostalgic, right? Like, oh, I went to GameStop. Oh, man, you know, I don't want them to die. Like, nah, man, GameStop needs to get out of here. They rip people off. They're a terrible company. They're horrible to their employees. And in the end, their whole sector is going down. Like retail video games, unless it's like a niche old like classic video game store that sells like classic video game systems like Sega Saturn and stuff like that, those might stick around. But like new video games, they're over with, man. They're over with physically. They're not gonna make it. Why? Is because most people are digitally downloading their games. I don't need to go to the store. I definitely don't need to go to GameStop anymore, and so that basically ruins GameStop's business completely. Like there's nothing they can do. Unless they went like crazy and turned it into like an arcade, there's nothing GameStop can do. You know?
All right, guys. Getting towards that 10 o'clock, where I'm going to stick with the plan that I established. Expected to see these kind of down moves, and now I'm going to look to see if I get any type of really strength to come out. Really big strength coming out would signal kind of some reversals. Let's see if we get that.
All right, here's DOCU. I'm gonna take 20 shares of DOCU. Oh man, I just realized the range or the spread is like 16 cents. Oh well.
No stress. Take the trade off the chart.
Yeah, that'll be alright.
And just limit the risk. That's it. There you go. You already limited the risk.
There we go. I'm up already. So that's good. I mean, it's got a huge range, really. I just need to break under 74. I could just hang this one and let it work. Problem is, this is the only issue, is if the market bounces right now, it's going to make this thing bounce. And the market's really down. Hopefully, I can hold through it, but, you know.
Here's another one. You know how everyone's been thinking that Trump met with someone from Brazil and could have got corona?
Right. Yeah.
Well, he met with another official also that got corona too.
Oh, right.
An Australian government minister tested positive for the virus just days after meeting Ivana Trump and Attorney General and other officials in Washington.
Hold on. It's just, I don't mean to not talk about what you said, but man, Thinkorswim's charting is lagging, man. I'm sitting there looking at it like, okay, I'm safe. And then I look at my P&L and it's just like, boom, like up. But luckily it's dropped. Sorry, Mitch, but man, Thinkorswim needs to get their stuff together, man. You know?
Here we go, guys. Here comes the Agos.
Hey, I take a shot here. Rick. I didn't block you. I put you in timeout, bro, because you were spamming the chat, demanding attention. You know? So... like I said, hero, you act like a kid, you get put in timeout, sir. See ya. Yeah, like I said, hero, we like you here, bro. You just can't spam the chat. Here's a good way to look at it, dude. If you look at the chat, the entire chat window, and the only person you see is you're spamming the chat, bro, you know?
All right, guys, just got caught in that little wave right there. Gave myself $30 there. Definitely a little bit quick to the trigger there. Got caught with the spread. The spread jumped up on me, and I got caught 6 or 7 cents up higher than what I wanted to. Still held to the same risk. That's why it was a little bit higher. It was only supposed to be $20 risk there, but that's how it is.
Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes, brother.
Yeah, I'm expecting the algos to come in here sometime, so I'll take another shot. I have no problem with it.
All right, so I'm in 30 shares of DOCU. I don't mind holding it here. It's got a huge range, and I'm already up on the day, and so I'll just probably trade it break even. You know, just to. It's not really my time. I still got a few more minutes until it's really how I like to trade. The only problem is they're not. Is this halted on the way up? I need to get out of here. Something's happening. Okay, there it goes. It calmed down. Kind of.
What are you in?
I'm in DOCU. Oh, it just got rejected. But the spread is crazy. It's got
APT at VWAP, guys. APT at VWAP. I don't know if you want to look at that.
It's got like a 30-cent spread right now, 40-cent spread. Now it's got a 16-cent spread. All right. I'm going to hold this and try to let it work, but I'm not really loving this. Yeah, I know it had a huge range, though. I'm just going to let it break that previous high up there. Oh my gosh, I just let go on accident. Oh well. $5 down in the day. Yeah, I was going to use that 28 level as my risk. And honestly, what's scaring me is the level 2. The level 2 is not really accurate. And so, anyways, I kept it $5 loss. I'll be alright. I don't mind it here, though, believe it or not. But I'm going to wait for the SPY to make its move. I'm also looking at CGC and AMD. Who do we get? Hey, I appreciate the sub, Gary. Welcome to the team, man. Remember, guys, hit that subscribe button. We do this live for free every single day. And it looks like it was a good thing I got out where I did. But remember, guys, smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button. You know, we're not experts or gurus here. We just, you know, we trade live every weekday morning on stream for free. So hit that subscribe button. Click that like button if you want to help support us.
There's definitely some interest here on the 4170s here on AMD. CGC and Kron came back with a vengeance.
Yeah, I'm watching those with the overall market. The market's bouncing back. I think the interesting level is 258.30s.
APT near those levels that I liked, which was the 80s or the 70, risking off of 65. There's a little move in AMD, looking for a pullback now. Looks like I did call the bottom. I just got washed out immediately right after, so that's okay. Now I'm just looking for a better entry.
Volume seems weak to you all? No, not really. The volume seems okay. Like if you look at the SPY, we're getting solid volume. It's just tough to see what's going to happen. I mean, the market's actually not that bad. It's maintaining a nice little trend. And so it just depends, but we're watching. It looks like DOCU was the right time to exit that one.
Yeah, I'm seeing the agos start picking up. I think I was dead on. I just got to get a good position here.
Hey, see you, Carter. Sometimes that's the right move, brother. You know. Remember, guys, we got roughly 250 people in here. Smash that like button. You know, we got 64 likes. Let's bring that number up to over 100. Help support what we do here, team, and hit that subscribe button as well. Yeah, it was the right time to get out of DOCU, certainly. Hey, nice, Patel. Hey, keep killing it. Nice work, brother.
It's getting interesting for me as APT. I tried to break out a couple times, couldn't do it.
I'll be right back, Mitch. I'm going to take my once a stream bathroom break, bro.
Go ahead, bro. Trying to figure out this AMD and where to get in here. There goes the entry for APT. I'm not going to take it because I'm just watching AMD, but it is a better strategy for me. Just don't see any volume coming in there.
Yo, guys, I'm back. What's up, team?
All right, about to take a chance again. All right, got a starter there. Gonna add here on pullbacks. Can get a little pullback here and I'll add. Just got a starter in MU.
Yeah, I just took like 100 shares of AMD. I'm gonna see if the market can tank really quick, or for a quick little scalp if it heads down, but just got the opposite, so I might just bail out here. I'm gonna let it test the whole dollar and then I'm out if it cracked really quick. Really, I was watching the market, but unfortunate. Still
All right,
small.
looking for
down
pullbacks here. I'm gonna get a pullback to add here.
I might look at CGC. If CGC breaks underneath the VWAP and then pulls back, I'll take a little bit more.
Looking good here. A lot of volume discollected in MU. 94,000 shares going through there at 39.93. That's a big order for MU at $40, guys. Oh man, ESPN gonna get us.
Yeah, man, I can't get this thing to be quiet, man. It's constant. It never stops, bro. This thing is constantly alerting me of all the stories.
It never stops.
Yeah. You could turn it off on ESPN, it'll still go. You could say I don't want notifications, and it still blurts out everything.
All right, looking for a quick dip here to add here.
There goes AMD. It looks like AMD just faked me out. Market's starting to look a little down. I think it's got a lot of resistance at 258.30s now.
Lots of bitter support there for MU.
So it doesn't look like my level 2 can really keep up with this too much, so I might wait, because my thinkorswim level 2 is just off. The bid is constantly worse than the ask.
All right, guys, they just put a big ask order on MU. We're talking 300,000 shares. I don't know what's going on in the other stocks, but I see a huge order just got put up on the seller side.
Market running up a little bit, up 258.30s, so it's testing that resistance. That resistance in the SPY is 258.35, and so if we could break that, it might head up some more.
There's a lot of volume got put up there. AMD looks like we got fake out fade there.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to come back below the VWAP a little bit. It's It's following the market some, and the market's testing that resistance. And so if the market breaks, it could break up. If the market falls, it could fall down. But the level 2 is consistently out of whack on Thinkorswim for AMD. So I've been trying to play it, but it's just tough.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I mean, this market environment's tough.
Yeah.
It's got to be smart, guys. Set yourself that maximum loss. Set yourself the risk and reward, and just stay to it. Sometimes end of day is going to be better than pushing.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially in this environment.
See, maybe we get a bounce now in AMD. I'll take a little bit more, but we got to get a bounce up to like 85s or so for me to really want it.
All right, we just got a little pullback here. Let's see what happens here. The one that really did the bounce back really well was LK there. I saw it pop to 32.30s. Was looking for a pullback to 32, but it never pulled back. It just went straight up there to 33s.
Yeah, you're hero, dude. We all know who you are, bro. Yeah, I'm shorting right now.
All right, want to see big volume jump in here on MU. That'll show significant.
All right, so I took 60 shares of AMD here. Just on the bounce back. I think with the market testing the areas it has, I think that's going to dictate what AMD does here. The market keeps kind of pushing up to test that previous high right there at 258.35. And so if the market breaks that, it could be good. If it gets rejected, it could be good for shorts. So we'll see. But that's what I'm really watching.
Another one to watch, CGC. That one looks interesting.
Yep. Yeah, that's one. I'm watching that one too. If it pulls back to like 11.30 and then bounces back, I might attack it a little bit more. But we gotta wait for it.
All right. Getting a little bit of a drop here. Want to see the scoop come big. There you go. That's the scoop I was hoping for. Looks good for me. I'm looking for ads.
Yeah, there's the SPY.
I just added a little bit. Just added a little bit on that pullback there. Looking for this to break out through 30s. Crazy day today, man.
Yeah, it's just a little, it's tough, man. It's tough. I'm watching the SPY to see where the SPY is going to go.
All right, guys, there you go. Gonna put an order out to add here. 30. See 28. Just in case it drops a little bit below that 30 mark. There you go. Scooped it. You saw that? I hope you guys saw that one. I scooped it so nicely there. At least that was the momentum scoop there. There you go, guys. Looking great here. Gonna sell 100 into the momentum. So 60s, 68s, I'll sell 100 shares.
Yeah, SPY ripped over that 258.35 level.
All right, let's see if we can get above this 50 here. What are out there to sell? 100 shares at 65s.
Oh my gosh, man.
All right, guys, just sold. Oh, just sold it all on accident. Oh, no. 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 No, guys. Not what I wanted to do there.
Don't stress it. $130 gain's nice, brother. You know,
Yeah, but this is an easy $200 gainer.
Sorry, I had to ban you, hero. I had to ban you, dude. You did it again, man.
Man, I'm sorry, guys. I messed up on my execution there.
You're good.
Really
bro.
badly.
It was a good trade, man.
Dude, this is a killer trade though. This is the one that you gotta hold a little bit. But hey, I messed up there, guys. You guys heard me. I only wanted to sell 100 shares. I hit the cancel and I hit 100 shares, but somehow it clicked the P when I hit the down button and it filled the 300 shares in the order box and I sold it there. I did not want to sell there, guys. I only wanted to sell 100 shares at 70. I was going to sell another 100 at 41. Look for 41.45s for the top shares. This could have definitely been a major home run win. Look at this. The Agos took over, man. I had that feeling today. Red day for the beginning, and the Agos jumped it.
Yeah. Yeah, SPY's pushing up, bro.
I was dead on today. I'm just glad I didn't fade away from my view. Stayed with the plan. I think that's what gave me the profit today, guys. Stayed with the plan.
Yeah.
Looking for pullbacks to VWAP now. Space looks good, guys. That one just surged. I like that one.
Yeah, I've been trying to attack AMD all day. It's just been kind of sideways chopping the VWAP. SPY's now ripping up though. SPY is up to 260s, which even though I took a few losing trades on AMD, I'm down like $50 on the day. I actually want the US market to go up. Like even though short-term results are bad, I want the market to do well. I hope it does. I hope it maintains. Just because everything's influenced by the market, and so if the market's down, you know, it's going to be rough for a lot of people. So let's see what happens. Hopefully we can maintain and we can actually rebound a little bit. And if we do rebound today, then, you know, maybe we're putting in some lows. We'll see, but should get interesting.
Man, that MU, I already took it off my screen, guys. Just gotta let it go. Focus on another chart. Right now I'm looking at space for an entry at 1430. The risk would be 1412s. So about 17-cent risk for a potential move up there towards 15.
So I was gonna say, Hero, you don't need to send so many messages in the chat, brother. I'm trying to help you, man. I don't mean to put you in timeout again, but it's like, it crowds it up. You know, you don't need to put you don't need to say 1,000 comments to say one sentence. You know what I mean? So like, try to put it all in one message. It'll be better, bro.
All right, guys, gonna try to scoop up here. Space. Let's see if I get the scoop here at 30s. The bid's on me. Let's see if I can get it. Ooh, the ass jumped up to 41. It was at 36 there. I think I put a good order out at least. So I'm happy with that. CGC, I could look for a pullback towards 1140. Play that one on the upside.
Yeah, market's reversing, man, heading back up. It's at 261,
man.
So it might be a good day for some longs if the market can maintain this.
Yeah, think about it as to the resistance. Don't think about it like we're going back to 300 or something like that. But where the top resistance is, it could make a full range move.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I missed the entry there in space by 6 cents, guys. The ask went to 36, the bid got to 30, but a really good order I put out there at 30, guys, because if I would have scooped 30s, I would have got instant green right back up here to 50. So those are the types of trades you want to take, guys. Those will set you up in the long run.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate the sub, bud. Welcome to the team, man. Everybody, like I said, hit that subscribe button and like button. Smash that subscribe button. Let me see how many likes we have. We have 81 likes, guys. We need 19 likes. Hit that like button. Let's bring that number up to over 100 today. You know you want to. Hit that subscribe button, guys.
Hey guys, I gotta reset my platform here. And my internet's being a little trippy. I don't know if it's just the market, but let me make sure everything's fine. I'm not trying to. There you go. You see, I had a feeling. I could already tell when my internet starts giving out on me.
It's that Comcast life, bro.
Dude, Comcast, don't give out on me, man. I need you. I need you, Comcast.
Yeah, I have Comcast too. I eventually finally got down to it where they're not raising my rate every month. You know.
All right, there you go. We're back in action here. We gotta cancel this space order. It would have been a really nice order to put in there, guys, but I missed it by what, 6 cents because of spread. Sometimes that's okay. You can't be mad about that. I put the right order out, I think. It just didn't fill. Same way we scooped up MU. It was a beautiful scoop there. I was trying to do the same for space. Not bad though, not bad, man. Finally making some movement above the 14,000, man. Yeah, really happy about that.
Hey, congrats, bro. You're doing it, man. Some good work, bro.
Yeah, I've been working it back, man. Now we're probably gonna be looking at like 14, almost 200 above the account, so.
Nice. Hey, keep growing that thing, man.
Yeah, gotta grow that small account, man.
Right, bro. Yeah, man, it just takes a little bit of patience, bro, and you got it, man. You got this, bro.
Yeah, key is sticking to your plan, sticking to that. Like right now, like I want to trade more, but my rules say to stop. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna respect myself, start closing down these charts, even though I still see everything looking good to me. Instead of being someone that's gonna jump on something that isn't there, and try to jump on the FOMO or jump on something like that. Close down charts, talk to you guys, look at other charts if you guys want. I'll look them up on a different kind of platform, not my trading platform, and so that I could help you guys. But I'm done for the day. Another $100 day for me. A great week for me, guys. I only had one losing day again. 2 weeks in a row, only one losing day, making about averaging $100 profit. The losing days have remained under 50, and that's what we need to do, guys. You see the difference there? When you give yourself that good risk to reward, you're gonna start seeing the results match your approach. If your results are matching your approach, that means you're full on in execution mode, and that's when you do the best. You guys get to see me a little bit.
Yeah, I took it down, but yeah, I was gonna say at first I was like, Mitch, your chart's not up, and then you were like, oh, I'm taking my charts down, so I was like, all right.
Yeah, I gotta do it. Gotta do it.
I feel you. I get it.
Even with, because you know, I'm still a little emotional about MU. So instead of being like stubborn and trying to fight myself right now, I'm gonna end the day.
Right. That's what you gotta do sometimes, bro. And that's the right move, man. You know, take 1-2 trades, be green, end it. You know. I might look at DOCU if it pulls back, but I don't see much. I'm down like $54. Yesterday I made like $50. The day before that I made like $300. And so we'll see. If I don't see anything, I don't see anything. I'm not gonna push it too hard if I don't. Really, it's just going to depend on what the market does, and if I was going to trade, it should have been during this time, I think, when the market was maintaining a trend. When the market's starting to crack above the VWAP, unless I specifically want to trade reversals, you know, I think I just got to wait. And if I don't see anything, that's cool too. But yeah, I really wanted to break the $2,000 profit level. Like I said, after this trade, I'm about $1,800 in profit. And so I really wanted to break that today, but it doesn't look like I'm actually going to do that. I'm getting close. Again, I'm at $1,800 in profit, so we'll see. Fridays are usually my worst day trading, and so I don't really want to push that hard and take too many risks necessarily. And so we'll see. What's up, Han? What's up, bro? kind of see their cruise lines here. I don't know if I want to short these though. Maybe DOCU dip buy with the market, but I think it's going to depend on what the market does. If the market drops, I might take a little bit here and let this be my last one. We're right at the $0.50. Oh no, this is AMD. What have I done? I'm gonna get out of there, burning a commission real quick, but that's okay.
That's more than fun.
Yeah, it is what it is. I noticed it and I caught myself, and I was like, maybe not the right move, but it's cool, you know.
I give you props for cutting it, bro.
Yeah. Oof, man, I didn't notice. I made an even worse mistake here, though. I didn't look at the spread on DOCU, so I am immediately down $7. I mean, it's got a huge range, but, you know, immediately down a big, not the greatest fill, but I think it's also mostly due to the spread here. We are getting a bounce up, which is nice, but, you know, we'll see. But I'm in DOCU with a very small position size.
Yeah. Steve said he worked with me, made $96 also. Hey, good work, Steve.
And while I got a second here, guys, if anybody wants to use the same platform that we do, there's a lot of benefits to doing so. There's no PDT rules, so you can day trade and short stocks. It allows you to, you know, consistently day trade the market and trade stocks that a lot of other people can't trade. And the way it works is the base package, they have all these different packages. The base one is $400. It's $399. With that, you get a course and a demo account to trade with and access to their chat room, and then you also get to partner with them once you're approved and day trade their accounts for them. And the base account is like a $14,000 account, so you get to day trade a $14,000 account. There's a few rules, like there's a $700 max loss, and so if you go under $700 in losses, they're going to close you down. But there's also a 70-30 split. But with that said, you could actually make money with it, and so it's a $14,000 funded account. You get to day trade in short stocks, and again, you can actually make money with it. You can take one withdrawal out per month, and so basically you get a $14,000 account. If you turn it into $15K, that's $1,000 in net profit. There's a 70-30 split, and so you keep $700, they keep $300. But again, you're paying $400 to day trade short and trade a huge account. It also comes with a course, a demo account, and a paper trading account to trade with. Oof, man. The spread's opening up on DOCU. I'm going to let it sit here for a second more. But we're pulling back to the VWAP some. Let me see what the market's doing. The market's pulling back some. And so this might be actually my cue to get out this thing. I'm going to see if the spread can get a little bit better. But the market's pulling back below the VWAP here, guys. But yeah, if you want to use the same platform as us, like I said, I'll post this link here. Luckily, it was tiny sizing with DOCU.
Yeah, you know, been really working at it, guys, and just wanted to show you guys, you know, I've been using the intro account for a while now, and the real key that I want you guys to know about that, it's not necessarily that, hey, that means you guys are going to make $1 million, because I'm definitely not making $1 million with this account. But what I can show you guys is that with as small of an account as the intro, you can make consistent gains. I've been making $100 almost every single green day, and that's what you want to go ahead and kind of strive for. Get that right risk to reward and start matching your stats to your approach. That's what we really agree TradeNet has a strength and to help you out with that cheap commissions. You're able to short stocks. Like today, early on, you could have been shorting stocks. Later on, you could have been long stocks. There's not many kind of advantages that and brokers out there that will give you that advantage. That's what I really think TradeNet gives you, that for the beginner traders that want to go both ways. Definitely check it out.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't think new traders can actually day trade anywhere else for that cheap. I don't think new traders can actually short stocks anywhere else either. I think most of the time new traders, you know, you need a margin account, and so you need to save up thousands and request approval, and it's just not the same. And this way you can do it for $400 and actually withdraw money if you're profitable enough. And I think that way it makes a lot of sense for new traders and really lets them get their feet wet for cheap.
Oof, Justin, I wish I had the pro.
I have the pro.
I wish I had the pro.
Yeah, I got the pro. But, you know,
got that money in the savings account.
Yeah. I got the pro, but I'm still a big wimp, unfortunately. You know.
Hey. Profit says it all.
Right. I'm green. I'm $2,000 up in it, but I'm a big wimp. I probably could be way more up in this account if I wasn't a big wimp. And sometimes being a wimp's a good thing.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think you have the good mentality of not striving for the realized, striving for the consistency.
Right.
And that's always going to outdo thousands and thousands of traders because they come in with the wrong mentality, the mentality of getting rich, the mentality of not a consistent approach. And then they run into the, oh man, my account has swings of thousands of dollars. Well, I mean, you don't come in with a consistent approach, with a consistent mentality. It's very, very hard to last in this game.
Right.
And I think that's what you guys can really take from John's account. Look how long he's had it. Look how long he's had it in the green. That's something I definitely envy.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of times like traders get wrapped up in the marketing that you get with trading, right? Like get rich quick, buy my course, you know. And I think that's very heavy in the trading world. And I think one of the biggest things is like you might even be consistently profitable trading huge, but if you trade too big relative to your account, eventually you're gonna get, you know, it's gonna destroy it. And so, you know, you gotta understand the limits of your account and what you can do and what you can't do. And I think that takes a big learning curve to do. But in the end, it's one of those things. I gotta get out of here. It's starting to crack down here with the market. I'm just gonna jump out there, But in the end, I think it just takes time. You know, the last 2 weeks have been tough during all this volatility for my style of trading. But even this week's been profitable. I can't remember how I did this week. I know yesterday I was green. The day before that I was green. I might have lost the day before that. I think I've had 2 losing days. If today is a losing day, I think this would be my second losing day this week. And I think my account did grow up some during this week. But I'm not even saying I'm necessarily done trading right now. I'm just going to wait and see. The market did get rejected here, just to show you guys. You know, just to show you guys, here's the SPY. So the market did get rejected below the VWAP currently. If we look at the S&P 500, coffee. If we look at the S&P 500, we're about sideways, but maybe this is a bottom, and I'm hoping it is. We'll see. AMRN's also pulling back to the VWAP, but I think I gotta wait for some A+ setups, and I don't know when we're gonna get those. Let me catch back up the chat.
Just trying to catch up also with the chat. Let's see what we got here. Jocelyn said she shorted U.S. Treasury 20-year bonds. Woo! Playing the bond game.
Nathan has a good question here. So Nathan says, if you don't mind me asking, why do you use TradeNet? You're both consistent traders, so why not trade with a different broker so you can make more money? Because TradeNet gives you leverage to make the most money. My other options, unless I have 25K sitting around, which I don't, you know, my options are I could go to a US regulated platform and use and try to build it up that way, but I'm going to be restricted by the PDT rule. I'm not going to be able to day trade actively. I'm not going to be able to short, which is a huge part of my trading. And in the end, I'm not going to have much leverage. It's just not going to be as favorable. I could go to another overseas platform like CMEG Group, but they kind of, you know, they nickel and dime you with fees with your platform and stuff like that. And again, I think TradeNet just fits the best with my style of trading. I think that it gives me enough leverage to day trade and short. I can actively day trade, and I think I trade too small. I think I'm a big wimp, obviously. But I'm slowly growing my account, and this is the first time I've really been super profitable like this, and I've kind of turned the corner, and so I'm just trying to protect the growth I have, and it takes me a little while to get to it. Listen, trading is not something that you need to rush into. It's not one of those things that anybody should rush into. It's something people should understand takes a lot of time. And, you know, I'm in my 3rd year of trading, and so to be finally profitable in my 3rd year, I don't think is uncommon. I think it takes a long time, and I think a lot of the time traders don't understand the timeline because they buy into the hype of marketers when they first get started trading. Marketers are just like, you can get rich quick. I made $1 million in 3 months with a $100,000 deposit. It's just kind of like, no, you didn't. You're just selling a dream. And it's like, at a certain point, you got to look at it and say, look, 3 years is a pretty quick time to actually be consistently profitable in day trading. And so now my next step here is just to scale up. And that's the part I'm struggling with the most the last few months, is scaling up to take advantage of my consistency. But in the end, I'm not rushing. I'm just trying to grow my account as easy as I can. I'm not an expert or a guru, and obviously there's stuff I need to work on as well. But I just think TAFs and TradeNet is the most favorable option for me, because it lets me to short. I can short any stock I want that's actually tradable on there. There's no PDT rule. Gives me enough buying power to be successful, and I'm trying to slowly grow this account up. Obviously, if I make 30-40 grand into one of my TradeNet accounts, I'm going to switch over to a big boy broker. But until then, this platform fits what I'm looking for the most.
Yeah, I'd have to agree also. For me, I've been really working hard on the last 2 years to get that day trading account. I'm still not there yet. Been building it up. We'll probably get there sooner or later, but my thing is to work on the process. That's what I really focus on with TradeNet. I think that's where the value really is. At the end of the day, I've always been a person that I've looked at this in the long run. I don't look at this like I'm going to trade 1 year or I'm going to trade the next 5 years. I look at this like I'm going to trade the next 20 years. And if I'm going to trade the next 20 years of my life, I want to really get down the process. And that's what I think I'm finally starting to make that corner. You got to get down something that you can follow in and day out, where you see the profit and your stats really match. I've seen plenty of times certain areas be hot, certain areas and certain strategy, but what has always come down to it is the timing of those strategies and how to really maximize the capital. Like always, it's always about risk management and capital preservation. If you guys really want to have that consistency, it doesn't really matter where you're trading, but it matters how you're trading. So that's what I really focus on, guys. That's why I use TradeNet. It lets me trade any way, short or long. I'm not borrowing shares on the short side like some people are. And yeah, you could make more money, but you also put yourself at more risk, and you put yourselves in areas where your strengths are not going to be a fortitude. And that's what you want. You want where your strengths can be the best. And I think that's what TradeNet really helps me on. Lets me short, long. I don't think about it. I don't go, hey, can I even short this stock? No, I already know it's tradable. And if it's tradable, I can short it. So that's definitely an advantage that I don't get with many brokers.
Right, and people hate on TradeNet a lot, and I get it. But like the reality is like, look, man, like people have unrealistic expectations. Like the reality is like you're getting a huge account. You're actually getting able to day trade in short stocks, and it's just, in my opinion, it's highly beneficial, especially for new traders that are like trying to get their feet wet but don't have a ton of money and like want to learn to actually actively day trade, because the options are slim. The options are slim, and obviously we're biased in their favor because we post referral links for them, and so naturally we're going to be biased in their favor. Like any YouTuber is going to be biased in their sponsor's favor. You know what I mean? I don't think that's, wrong of us to do. But the reality is that it's just a cheap way to get started. It is what it is.
Yeah, guys, I'm putting up in the Discord. I'm talking with some traders on our Discord about how, I really think the agos are in control in this environment. Why would the agos be in control? Because the agos are the only one, I think, that are putting liquidity into the market right now. Bunch of investors are scared. Hedge funds are holding their money. I don't really think they're putting all their money into the market right now. And institutional traders are more in a watch mentality than the agos. The agos don't have emotions. So if their strategy hits, they just trade. And so this is what I think is really going on in this environment. It's an algorithmic controlled environment. So you really have to be paying attention to the algorithmic volume and kind of the direction and trend that stocks are heading. A lot of the times we're going to get these big reversals because we have what's called trading to the extremes. Right now, trades are definitely extreme in certain ways. They'll go really, really big down and then reverse all the way back up, or they'll start at the top and then go all the way down to a big time support. So this is what I mean by trading extremes. You got to be careful in this environment.
how you do that is you limit your down days, and when you go green, it should be a big green. So that should help you out with your accuracy level and not trying to be so accurate, but more along sticking to what works for you.
Yeah, for sure. And it's one of those things. It's like trading is, like Mitch says, it's a wave. Like prior to the last 2 weeks, I had like every day, or I had like a month of straight green weeks. Hadn't lost in like months, of just straight green weeks. And then eventually it's like the market turns to be a little bit less favorable, and the last 2 weeks have been a little bit more tough. But that's part of trading, And again, I think part of me, like I said, it's just due to the toxic nature of the marketing that like penny stock gurus most of the time put out there, which is that like, hey, get rich quick, buy my course, and they have to justify the course. And so in the end, it's just very difficult for a new trader to read between the lines and like actually understand that it's like, hey, look, like this is a skill that is going to take years for you to make money with. It's not a skill that you're just going to start learning right away. It's kind of like learning to program, right? You don't learn to program in a month. You might learn the concepts of programming, but whether you could actually like make money programming, like that's not going to happen in a month. It's going to take years to fully understand how to do it correctly to where you can make money with it. And so, that's part of it. I'm going to get out here and keep this trade break even. We're getting a spike up. Or I might stay in it actually, depending on if it breaks back over the $0.50. But like that's how it is. It's not something that it's just gonna get rich quick. Like you can learn the concepts of programming, but you're not gonna learn how to do it correctly enough to where you can get a job doing it. It's at least gonna take a year, at least. And if you rush that process, you're gonna learn less, and it's just kind of how it goes. And so in the end, guys, you really just need to understand like this is a skill that's gonna take a long time to develop. But once you develop it, it'll be a skill you'll have for the rest of your life, just like programming or anything like that. But you can't just buy the hype. You can't just buy the dream they sell you here, because that's a lot of that stuff. And in the end, you got to look at it for what it is, which is it's a skill like anything else that's going to take a long time to master and do well enough to profit from. And so be prepared for that. Be prepared for it to take a year or two, at least. And be prepared to lose money that entire time.
Yeah, what I always say is look at your money that you use in trading and make sure that it's something that you're not so mentally and emotionally attached to. That's when I've always done the best. When I've done some extra work to get some trading money. That's when you do better. Why? Because a lot of us attach way too much what I call the all or nothing mentality, meaning that you start an account, let's say a small account, let's just say $500 to make it easy. You start that account for $500, and most traders, what ends up happening is they're going to go through a drawdown like any other trader. And what usually happens is that drawdown puts them in a position of worry in their account. They're down 30% on their account. And what ends up happening is they get an all or nothing mentality. They say, either I'm going to just make $1,000 the next day, or I'm going to just blow up the account. And that's the complete opposite you want to do in trading. If you really want to have an advantage, you need to have the consistent mindset. You need to keep going at it with the same risk and reward, and then you'll see the drawdown, the wave back up. But this is what a lot of traders can't accept. They get into this all or nothing mentality with their money, and then you just blow through that money. And then you have such an attachment to that money that it becomes an emotional kind of down draw on yourself. And that's not what you want. You want to be in a position of kind of control in your mentality. So taking the money from something extra, like doing some extra side hustle. John always talks about Amazon businesses, but you can do plenty of different things, whether that be even driving an Uber or something like that. Whatever you can do to make a little side hustle money, stuff like that can definitely help you go ahead and go into trading with that side money. And then you don't have so much pressure to make the all or nothing mentality.
Right. Yeah, I made a good video a few months ago, and it was about something that drastically improved my trading. And it was about when I learned to program. That made me feel better about trading, because if you put all your eggs in one basket with trading, that can cause a lot of pressure, and pressure will kill your trading profits. You don't want any pressure. You just want to be able to do what you do. If you lose, not the end of the world. If you put all this pressure on yourself to succeed, you're going to fail. You know what I mean? And so in the end, trading is one of those things, like Mitch said, I agree. Find a side hustle. Find something that you know if trading doesn't work out, you're going to be okay. I think a lot of times trading brings in like passionate people, and they're really passionate about trading, and I get it. I really do. I understand because I'm passionate about trading as well. But I think a lot of times traders will quit their job or they'll get a loan and they'll just do extremely dumb things before they're ready. You know, you're not ready to quit your job a month in. Trust me. I don't care if you made money your first week. A lot of times that's just positive variance. That doesn't mean you did it the right way. Sometimes you can make money and it's the wrong way and you're doing the wrong thing. And so in the end, a lot of times traders just put all this pressure on them to succeed, whether it means they quit their job, whether it means they get a loan out, which is the worst thing you could ever do. And that kills their trading profit. And so I would actually go the other way with learn a different skill and have that as a backup option. Like when I learned to program, that gave me a backup option. I know, look, if trading fails, you know, if YouTube fails and if all this other stuff fails, I have something where I can get a good job making 50K plus a year like that. And it's fine. And it's not going to be the end of the world if this isn't always profitable. And that's the mentality you have to have. If you jump in too early and you quit your job because you had a week of profits, you know, that's going to be too much pressure. And again, short-term variance is there. You need a huge sample size. You need like a year sample size because positive variance can and will happen. And you got to look at it for what it is and not be too married to something that you're not looking at it objectively. So I shouldn't be trading with my rent money? No. Obviously, you're being sarcastic, but yeah, you shouldn't be. You know, and again, I think sometimes trading brings in gamblers, 100%. And it's like I said, I'm not super emotional about my winning or losing days. And I think if you get too emotional about your winning or losing days, you have a gambler's mentality. You got to just look at it as just another day in the office. You know, sometimes you're gonna win. Hopefully, you win most of the time. Sometimes you're gonna lose. But if you don't win, it's not the end of the world. You know?
Yeah, I think the best thing to do that is to change the mentality on what you think is a green or red. Green or red should be more based on your execution of your strategy than versus your realized or unrealized results.
Right.
That's such an important task to start changing your mentality, because if you're a person that you feel you get too emotional, you need to start focusing more on giving yourself pats on the back when you do and you trade your strategy. Just because you lost does not mean that you didn't execute your strategy to the fullest. It could have been the right entry, it could have been the right risk to reward, and it just hit your risk.
Yep.
I think this is such a vital thing to understand, is that if you can start really focusing on execution and judging your emotions based on that execution, then you start looking back and you look at your trading and you say, wow, I'm at least following my system. You know, whether I'm making money or losing money shouldn't really be the focus here. The focus should be is, can I completely replicate the system day in and day out? Because if I can do that, then all I got to do is test the system to see if it's positive.
Somebody's asking, what do I think of DWT? Isn't DWT an inverse crude oil ETF?
You got
so
it.
It's just going to do the opposite, right? Of what crude oil does.
It's actually leveraged.
I see.
I believe it's leveraged also.
Yeah, so it's probably 3 times leveraged inverse ETF of crude oil. So it's essentially just going to do the opposite of what oil does. Of what you could look at UWT to see the regular one, right? This is normal oil.
It's 3
DWT
times.
is,
You're right.
And this is inverse. And so yeah, this is just going to do the opposite of what oil does, you know. And so with that said, I have no idea.
That's what DWT is. I'm putting it up in the chat here. It's the velocity shares 3 times inverse crude oil ETN, linked to the S&P GSCI crude oil index. So essentially it goes off that crude oil index and it's 3 times the inverse. So you could look at it as, what does 3 times the inverse mean? That means that essentially, like when you get 1 share, it's kind of like getting 3 shares in that company. Everything is multiplied. There's a multiplier effect. So you got to be careful with these. They're a lot more volatile than the index itself.
Right.
right, guys. I think that's going to do it for me. I'm going to go ahead and head on out of here, guys. Definitely, like always, guys, always stay up with us on the Discord. Look at our videos. We have so much free content, guys. I put out a video recently this weekend that's been doing really well. It's about stats matching your approach, and really that's what matters. I think a lot of in day trading is if your stats are not matching your approach, you need to start looking at your approach, seeing if you're executing that approach so that your stats can start to match.
Yeah, I'm gonna take 100 shares of CGC here too. I'm gonna hold this and see what happens. I don't know how long I'm gonna hold this, but I'm just gonna hold this and see if we get a nice little drop here. Let me see. Just a small position. Looks like I had a few errors today where I got in and out quick. Yeah, that's what it looks like. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna keep my wins and losses under 100 today. Try to bank some of that profit I made earlier this week. But yeah, so Marco, so it's just gonna do the opposite of what oil does. And so DWT is gonna rise as long as oil drops, and if oil drops, then it's gonna if oil rises, then it's gonna drop. And so it's just gonna do the opposite of what oil does, and that's basically it. Later, brother. Good job today, man. Nice work, brother.
Yep, just keep working on the rules, guys. Follow your rules, establish them, stick to them. You'll be happier if you stick to your rules than when you start breaking them.
Yep, 100%. We got 94 likes in here. Let's hit that like button, guys. Let's hit that subscribe button. You know, we need 6 more likes to bring that number up to over 118. And so smash that like button if you can. Hit that subscribe button if you can. Show your support for what we do here. SPY is slowly moving towards those lows. How much are commissions on your trades? They're roughly like 0.006, 0.007 per share with a 150 per trade minimum is what they are. So they're pretty cheap. As long as, especially if you use like small size, they're super cheap. All right, so we're edging closer to these lows here. I might add a little bit more to CGC. Hoping we can get another drop here. Try to scale in. I got 200 shares of CGC. I still got 50 shares of CCL here. Alright, there's the SPY test and lows. I'm going to add another 50 to Carnival. See if we can take a quick gain from this, just from the SPY's volatility heading down. There's 15s. See if we can test that whole dollar. There's the SPY breaking lows. This should help all of my positions here. They're all short positions, so this should be beneficial. We'll see. There's the SPY breaking lows. Let's see, SPY bounces here. CGC's up too. Good. SPY breaking lows. like I said, this should drag everything down. The 8s in CGC. Take half off here, just take my little profit with Carnival. Gonna cover a little bit of CGC there too. And then now I'm just gonna let this last little bit work and try to hold it through this SPY volatility on the downside. So if the SPY continues to crack lows, I'm just gonna hold my small positions through that, and we'll see what we get after that. But there we go. There's Carnival. Looks good. CGC, I might actually add my sizing back. It just depends on what the market does here. Yeah, you could. So, like, a good way to use inverse ETFs and stuff is like if you want to short the market, you can just buy long, and you can only go long. You can just buy long. I fell out at CGC. What, cracking under lows? I'm making money in it. I'm shorting it, by the way. I don't know if you realize that I'm shorting CGC. So yeah, I mean, it's dropping well. It's down to 27s. My commissions are cheap enough here to where I'm gonna net most of this anyway. But yeah, I might add a little bit back to it. Maybe I should have on that bounce. But again, I'm gonna try to ride the SPY volatility down. If you look at the overall market, it's heading down and breaking lows here. And so that should positively affect my short positions here. Alright, so SPY might be bouncing here, unfortunately. What I might do is I might take this off on CGC and then add back if it moves back up, is what I'm kind of planning on doing. There's the move back up, and so I took a little bit off CGC, but it's not going to affect me much because I already covered it, and then I might add it back when this bounce up. It just depends on what the SPY does, because like if we look at the SPY, it's actually testing these lows and bouncing here, and so this is worse for my strategy, this bounce at that support level. It's not going to be, none of these are going to be losing. I've already covered enough profits to, you know, be somewhat indifferent to what happens here. But I am considering adding back on CGC maybe like another 125 shares and then just shorting back into it on this bounce. But again, I think it's going to depend on what the market does. Yeah, these are both short positions. You can see on the position list, it has negative 50 shares, so that means a short position. You know, and obviously, I mean, my P&L is going up from the stocks moving down, so yeah, they're shorts. Alright, I'm going to get out of CCL here. CCL is just tanking down. Maybe I should hold it through this. This is beautiful. Maybe I missed it. Oh man, that was my chance to maybe get out for a bigger win, but that's okay. Alright, I'm going to get back in short on CGC. I'm holding 175 now. Carnival's testing the lows, it looks like. We'll see. And I was down like 70 before this trade, so I'm at least making a little bit of money from it. Alright, well, holding Carnival here. I'm going to see what the SPY does, because here's the interesting levels for the SPY, right? If we look at the SPY here, we got this high right here now. Like, is it going to hold here? Is it going to get rejected? What's the SPY going to do right there? I'm gonna get out the rest there on CCL and just hold my CGC trade. Maybe I'll add some more to CCL, but I made about 25 bucks on it. The market is bouncing here, which is probably worse for me. I might just jump out of the rest of this on CGC. I think I'll let the market test this level here first, though. But the good thing about this week is that I'm keeping my losses pretty tiny, guys. I'm keeping my losses pretty tiny. I'm gonna see if the SPY rejects here at 257 before I exit my CGC trade. But I'm keeping my losses small. So I'm down like 32 bucks today. Very tiny. Great green day yesterday. Great green day the day before. I think this is my second losing day this week, if it turns out to be a losing day. And, you know, overall, it's been a green week. I appreciate it, Mumbo. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it, Gary. Thank you, brother. There we go. We hit 100. What's up, Lego? What's up, brother? CGC's back down. Politico says they're about to release the bill text. Overall market should pick up in the next 15 minutes. Well, maybe that's my time to get out of my short position. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna let CGC test this too. What's a half of 175? It would be 137.50. Is that right? I think that's right. Yeah, 137.50. So I could just do 137. Yesterday was fun for the day trader, yeah, for sure. The week's been an interesting week, at the least, man. Alright, so then we're up to 132s, and like I said, this really squeezes up. I'm just going to pay a lot of CGC, and end my day up 32 bucks. I'll take that. That's acceptable, you know. I hope not, Nathan, because I was killing it up until this volatility, man. Trading says the price action of the major market has reached unprecedented behavior, and I believe that this will have a major impact on all exchanges long after the effects of the virus have left. I hope not, man, because I was killing it up until this volatility. Like I said, if we look at my trading the last like 6 months, I've been super profitable, man. I've been killing it in the market. And then I started to have a few losing weeks, not this week, but last week was my first losing week in a while, I think. And again, I'm not going to blame the market. I probably shouldn't have traded, but the strategies that I used prior to that definitely didn't work as well. And so I'm hoping it doesn't permanently affect the market, but the market's fickle, man. And so it's plausible. Another thing is that, like, since more platforms are offering free commissions, there's going to be more algos out there, and that's going to affect the market too. you get the name of the song? Yeah, I got you, bro. Hold on. I think you're talking about 80s Kid. Yeah, you're talking about 80s Kid. This is the name of the song, bro. Alright, we got a little dip. I'm watching this. I know, I said 137 is half of 175. It's not. It would be 6750 would be half. Well, I don't know. Man, my math is way off. It would be 6750 is what it would be. Here we go. 7650. There we go. There's CGC. Dude, that's probably what it is, man. Alright, here's CGC running back up. This would be 8750. What's half of 175? It'd be 8750, right? That's half. I mean, I gotta look at my math real quick. $87.50. Yeah, okay, so that's right. That's what I thought it was. $87.50. And so 87 shares. I'm trying to think of taking half off here. I'm gonna let this work a little bit more though, and see if we can get down a little bit more for me here. There we go. 24s. I'm gonna get out part here, and I'm gonna hold the rest, guys. I don't know how long I'm gonna hold the rest for. I just got out of 87 shares. I don't know how long I'm gonna hold the rest for. I'm just gonna take my green day. So yeah, I basically fought my way back from a $70 loss. I'm down 15 bucks on the day. We'll see what I get for the rest of the day. But I'm gonna go ahead and close it down now. Don't think I'm gonna keep the stream going any longer. And so I appreciate everybody hit that like button, guys. Remember, if you want to use the same platform as us, there's a lot of benefits. There's no PDT rule. You can actually short and trade with a decent sized account once you're actually approved, and then it comes with a course and a demo account and access to their chat room and a lot of cool stuff. And so if you want to use the same platform as us, which is really, in my opinion, the cheapest way a new trader can actually get started day trading for less than 500 bucks, again, you get to short, day trade, actually potentially make money on. There's the link. It's a great way to help support our channel. You could also go check out the best scanners in trading, obviously, with trade ideas, and if you use promo code BT15, you get 15% off these scanners. Like I said, they're super legit, real time, up to date, let you do a lot of different stuff with them. I'm gonna let this run and see if the market really drops, if this will keep dropping, and then probably set a stop loss at like 30, maybe 34, but somewhere about break even on the rest. So not a bad little win here, and we're gonna let this keep going and see if the market can drop right now, guys. So good luck, guys. I'll see you all next time. Have a good day. I appreciate everyone who hit that like button, and remember, don't forget to smash that like button if you haven't already. Good luck in the markets, guys. Small day for me, which is totally fine to end the week. I'll see you guys next time, and yeah, have a good day. Later, team.